What is up, guys? All right, I just pulled the chat up, y'all. I can see what y'all saying now. My bad. Just kind of looking at the markets, man. I mean, you get NQ pulling back today, but still shy of pulling back into all this internal structure. I think if you want us to sell, let's at least get into internal structure so we can look to trade out of it. I also kind of like how gold's setting up too. I'm keeping an eye on gold. There's just nothing that good to trade. That daily candle is just so it's out and above all the structure. It's neutral. We might go focus on gold a little bit more today. was looking at gold. You guys know we took a gold scalp. What was it? Friday. Took a gold scalp down at 2008.90s. Didn't get a lot of volume, so just closed it out before the session ended. You had Monday futures kind of pull this up. London session had a big move, and so just trying to see continuation off of that. It's in an interesting spot. I mean, obviously gold's super, super overextended. You got relative equal highs there, relative equal lows. Kind of wanted to see it hold suppressed under or within this bearish imbalance here. So if we fail to reclaim that fair value gap and pull all the way back to the equal highs, you possibly have this curl back down and go take out sell side, but that's on the bigger time frame. Like right there, that's the 4 hour. So it's set up on the bigger time frame. I think gold's probably a better swing trade. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I mean, if NQ does something interesting, we'll look at that again, but NQ's not doing anything. Hey, what's up, Martin? How you doing? It's looking like gold just curls right back up to its sell-off. I think it had like a 1.5% sell-off on Friday. Sunday's futures pumps a little bit. Monday's futures pumps. London pumps. Opens up today. And we're just 10 or 15 points off equal highs that we were at. All-time highs, I believe, on gold. It's a hell of a recovery. But yeah, gold's kind of neutral until it tells you what it wants to do out of this imbalance, whether it displaces back through these relative highs, sweeps buy side, then sells off. We just got to kind of see. I would have liked to see a little bit more hesitation through this gap so we could try to maybe get back into a short, ride it down to sell side, but we'll keep an eye on that. NQ trading in a really tight range down here. Best session time? It depends on what you're talking about trading. I think gold's best session time is probably London, to be honest. Most of these big moves have been in London or at the back end of London. I mean, we're just looking at NQ on the hourly, right? You had the open, now price is just accumulating. We know what comes after accumulated. Accumulation is that manipulation move. So I'm kind of seeing if this swings through these lows or it pulls back into the gap, either one. But not looking to trade within this really tight window here. Needs to build more structure before we take a trade on that. Needs to build more structure and either take these highs or these lows here. Until then, no trade. Still not really like any good trade, to be honest. This is out of internal structure, kind of floating up here. I mean, ultimately, if NQ does come down this week, then this could be kind of just forming another buy side liquidity sweep in the future. So we'll see. I mean, if this forms a weak high here, then it's kind of just generating liquidity for future buy side to get swept. We'll see. I wouldn't mind this pulling back into this internal structure so we can actually trade off of it, trade off some levels. This is like not the best look, right? You have this wedge. If it's gonna break these highs, you prefer just take the next buy side, take that high, and just to see what the price action looks like after that. Not fall short of it, and then kind of hesitate. I don't know if NQ looks better or gold looks better. I like the way gold looks. Gold's having a day. Fuck yeah, gold's having a day. Gold's up 1.6. Oh, buddy, don't do that bull. You go gold broke through 2009.50. Sometimes I feel like this fucking chart's not big enough, dude. That fucker. Like once I stretch it in here, I just hate how stacked the candles start to look. I don't know, man. Think I'd prefer a taller monitor, like something just really tall rather than wide. Because I hate having to like, you know what I mean? Jeez. Think I'd prefer a tall monitor because like I'm looking here, maybe I gotta change the settings, but like I'm looking at this 5 minute and this is all I can fit on my screen while still being able to read what the fuck the candles are doing. You know what I mean? Shit's fucking weak. And then like I want to look at all the structure back here and I can't. I can't. I have to just pull it up on this. Like really? That's all I can fit on my screen, huh? It's all good. Just waiting for some structure to form here on gold. We got stacked sell side stops here. Obviously, this is attainable to go and grab buy side. I mean, gold's up 1.5%, I believe. A lot of strength on it. It's almost retraced this entire bearish imbalance that we had last week. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. If kind of a short opens up here, or we get some type of manipulation leg back into equilibrium, and then we pull back through buy side, whether we take that today or tomorrow, we'll kind of keep an eye on it. Interested to kind of see what volume wants to do here. This could really start to just accumulate hard now, since we already did move 1.5%, or this could go on a bender here. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it. If I see volume start to dry up too much and kind of accumulate near this buy side, then I probably won't take a trade on it, just because I know it's already had a really nice move. And so if it kind of wants to generate more liquidity before we either take buy side, whether that be today or tomorrow, who knows? Just letting this play. I want to see it build some more structure now. But you kind of always expect that, right? When something's a big mover on the day, you're got on the charts 2.5 hours after market open, this could very easily start to slow down here. And I don't want to get entered into just chop. So if we get a premium entry on it, we'll kind of see what it looks like. But I'm keeping my eye on it. 2,950 still has strength on it. It's only about 15 points off of taking last week's high, which is totally attainable. We've already moved 80 points off the lows. Maybe a little less, maybe 70 points. I mean, Q pulling back into the bearish imbalance. All you can play today on NQ is this bearish imbalance today from open, right? That's literally all you can play. We're above all of the internal structure. I mean, there's some buy side up there, but this is just, it's a massive range, so I don't expect that we go and take that today. I would just play what it shows you today. Like, I looked at the daily with a grain of salt, moved on. There's not much to really, unless this starts to sell back down into that range a little more, we can play some internal structure. I'm just not going to look at it. You could play, it could be a continuation play off that bearish imbalance, though. Look how this candle closes here. Came up, took buy side on the 5-minute. So vital point on NQ, right? You have it pulling back into a bearish imbalance. Hasn't had a ton of strength. As you can see, really tight trading window down here. Market is at the lows of the bearish imbalance, generating fresh liquidity. As you can see, all these orders being put in, creating these sell stops to be swept. So I'm kind of just looking at NQ. I want to see if we can maybe get a manipulation leg through these buy side orders. Right, manipulation leg here. I want to see a change. I want to see a sentiment shift, really, right? I want to see a change of character back into this accumulation window and then see if we can get a continuation selling move back down below 22,100. That is if it fails to really hold as it pulls back into this bearish imbalance. If it gets strength here and we see strong displacement through 22,200, then we probably won't take the trade. But that's what I'm saying. We're looking for maybe a manipulation move here as it takes buy side on the 5-minute, as it takes all of these highs that we've generated buy side liquidity from, take that, manipulate above it, then you want to see pretty aggressive selling from that area. Preferably a fair value gap opens up on the 5-minute, we inverse it, come back up into the gap to your short entry, and ride this down to low of day, because we are generating a lot of sell side liquidity as well on this consolidation move. So we'll kind of see. There's just not a lot to trade today. Like, I'd have to get a really good entry on that with a really tight stop. Still choppy. Shit. All right, so whenever the price is range bound like this, trading in a tight window, what's really happening is the market makers are generating a ton of liquidity. In this instance, sell side liquidity, right? You have a lot of stacked lows here. So sell side liquidity is put in here at these lows, as well as these lows. That's why we call it stacked sell side liquidity. Right now, algos are running this above the initial highs at 2,200s. And I want to see manipulation and immediate displacement back into this range. And that really would be the only trade I'm interested in, right? Because we know the bearish sentiment is in for the day, right? You had this nice bearish imbalance. We know that its sentiment is bearish, right? You had this nice bearish imbalance off of nice bearish imbalance off of 22,300s. All right, so almost an 800 point move to the lows. Just watching that candle. It's either that or gold for me. I see gold still moving through 952. I almost don't want to step in the way of that. If anything, I'd look for... You don't want to trade against the trend there, but it's moved too high to get a long entry off of. Probably just stay and sit and watch this on the sidelines here. Hell of a move. Oh, look at gold. Watching gold here for a potential reversal. Been so focused on NQ, forgot gold is set up really nice. This is a really extended move back into this bearish imbalance, right? So at the very least, you maybe look for a scalp model back down to equilibrium before this eventually goes and sweeps buy side. But it's already up 1.5%, I think more than that today. So really overextended intraday move on gold. Starting to see a little bit of exhaustion. You have your accumulation leg, manipulation leg, and I want to see strong displacement back down below 2,950. So that's what I'm looking at. If there's even a trade to be taken on gold, I would have a very tight stop on it. Still watching NQ. Keep an eye on NQ breaking down below 2000. NQ breaking below 200s. Still sideline on NQ. Haven't seen the premium entry we wanted, but also until this actually breaks out of this tight trading window and makes either a strong manipulation leg back into this gap and then sells off aggressively, or vice versa, I'm not really looking to trade it, right? Because I don't want to trade accumulation. I'm looking to get in right after that manipulation leg and ride the displacement leg, either back through this sell side liquidity here, this low resistance stacked sell side liquidity here, or maybe we move back through the bearish imbalance and invert this fair value gap. We'll kind of just keep an eye on it. I need to see it build more structure and show me that it's ready for an entry. Right now, it's not. Still looking at gold here. If gold snipes 2,950 here, we'll get a short entry on it, very small, then we'll go over the scout model that I have set up for it. I'm just kind of watching this break below 2,950. If it does, I'm in too short with a tight stop, and then we'll go over the model I'm looking at. I'm gonna go to the restroom, get a water, be right back. The whole time. Oh shit. All right. Hey, what's up, Nee? Looking for a short entry as this sells through. Kind of keep an eye on it. Want to see a little bit of recovery before we sell through 249. Okay. I want to see this pull back through 950s. Pull back into the gap. Took one short there. Stop at the highs. All right, as this sells back down below 949, I kind of want to go over the entry here. Let me just watch over this. Make sure it sells down. This is kind of a scalp entry model here. I want to go over it here in a sec. Nice green to red on that move. This is a scalp entry model, and we will go over the entry right now. Let me keep this over here. I kind of want to keep an eye on that. Bum, 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 bum. Ah, I see. Okay, one sec. What? Yeah, I fed them earlier. Oh. Gold futures, it is. It is. What time frame? I'm on the 5 minute right now. This needs to lose 949. Yeah, this is gold. I'm gonna go over the entry model here. This is a scalp entry model. I'll go over in a second. First of all, I'm just trying to make sure that this doesn't continue to accumulate for another displacement leg through buy side. So I'm watching price action here. I saw what I needed for the entry, but now I need to see strong displacement through these lows and a sentiment shift. So I'm kind of just watching that. That's the most important thing to me right now is watching this trade live as it plays out. I want to see this sell hard through 949 to validate my entry. Otherwise, as we know, gold's had a nice move up today. This is kind of a pin reversal move, so I'm trying to kind of gauge this price action. If it continues accumulating and holding higher lows, then I'm probably going to stop out of it early. But if it cracks through 949 here, we'll get into the theory here in a second. I kind of just want to see this. I need to see strong displacement now. Depth of market, I don't. I don't use the DOM. Never tried it. If this does sell through 949, initial target's going to be these 94s, this initial sell side. Liquidity, you could target these, but that's going to be more of a swing setup. I mean, this needs to sell hard through 949 first. But this is what you're looking to take here. Hold on. This initial sell side. But I mean, if this doesn't break through 949, This is kind of starting to consolidate more than I wanted to see. Right now, what I want to see is a strong What the fuck is... Okay, that's not what we use. What is the path one? Path, okay. Yeah, it's consolidating a lot now. Ugh. What's up, Shot? Yeah, no, looking choppy now. I wanted to see a stronger pivot off this move. I wanted to see a more exhausted sell-off. Now you got this kind of coiling here. It can still displace back through this gap. That's what I would want to see. I want to see this low get taken out 4-9. And then strong displacement back through this imbalance. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Is this XAU? No, this is gold. Super hesitant move if this does sell. Playing out a lot slower. Okay, if we're gonna get this displacement leg back through this imbalance, it would be here. You had a low that failed to break the high, took the remaining buy side liquidity, rejection off of that level. You want to see strong displacement back through this imbalance below 949. Should be happening right now. Once again, strong selling through 949. Still need to see the sentiment shift. We don't see the sentiment shift until we take these sell side orders. All right, strong displacement through our sell stops at 949. That is key. Otherwise, this continues to accumulate and generate more liquidity to take buy side, right? So like if we don't see aggressive displacement through the imbalance, then I'm not really looking to stay in this trade, right? Seen everything I needed to see except for the strong displacement through this key level. That's the only thing. This is where you want to see volume come into your trade, right? You have the manipulation leg above the buy side stops here. You're going to see strong displacement back through the imbalance at 2949. Otherwise, this can continue to consolidate and accumulate sideways. As far as timing goes, you would expect it to come in right about now. After that manipulation leg takes the buy side orders, strong selling through the sell side stops and back through the imbalance. That's what you want to see here. If you don't get it here or within the next couple of minutes, probably just take this off. Yeah, yeah, we're on YouTube. Just watching this trade, guys. I mean, we don't see the strong selling through 949s here. I probably will cut it. Can only be so patient. Hey, appreciate the follow, man. What time frame? We're on the 5 minute. Nice down close candle here in the 5 minute. This next candle needs to open and break through 949s. Fucking gold. He got cooked. We're not but a point off. Bad entry point for a short. I disagree. Let's put some socks on. Y'all gotta chill, bro. This is just bouncing around, bro. You gotta chill on a real one. Although the obviously we have had a nice strong day on gold, so the longer this does hesitate to break out, the less comfortable I am sitting in it. You know what I mean? So if we don't start to see strong displacement, yeah, it's gonna start to get. Not that the trade wouldn't work out, but you never want to be sitting in an entry while this kind of accumulates on the back end of what's already been a pretty strong day. I was looking for more of a reversal type move with strong displacement through the sell side. And I'll be patient and wait, but I don't want to wait too long on something that is having a nice run up, obviously. Look at that 949 break. If we don't get it on this 3-minute candle, we'll probably close. Look for gold to come down and take sell side right here and pull into the imbalance. Market makers moving gold back into equilibrium. We're looking for TP1 to be this stacked sell side at 294. Now you have to be aware every time out of the accumulation phase you have your manipulation leg, or in this place in this situation this is our displacement leg through the imbalance. But market makers algo is always going to try to trick you out. So if this starts to manipulate and pull back out of the gap to the upside, you have to be careful that this could continue. Once again, gold's up 1.5% today, so obviously a really strong move. We're kind of sticking our ass out there trying to make this reversal trade off the highs. But that's kind of what we're doing. We're reading the price action here. If this pulls back in and doesn't get continued strong displacement and inversion of this imbalance, then we'll look to cut it a little bit early. But that's all at your discretion. So you broke 949. The fuck? Getting fucking signed out of the broker mid-trade? Like, what are we doing? Signed out of the broker mid-fucking trade. Come on now. Really? That's fucking wild. That's a suable offense. Okay, I want to see this down close candle with the body. Sorry, clear my throat. I want to see this candle close down with the body below sell side stops. 30 seconds on this candle. See, is what you want to be careful about, especially when you're trading something as strong and as algo driven as gold. Once again, when gold trades, it trends hard. Like I said, we were sticking our ass out there with a reversal. And so once again, if this is kind of that manipulation back in to take buy side liquidity, then we will cut it if we start to get that kind of that filling. I want to see the down close body close below the sell side stops that we just took out. All right, so sentiment shifting bearish. But you have to understand the intraday strength on gold has been pretty strong. So we'll keep looking at it here. We took sell side. What you don't want to see is this become a manipulation back into the highs. I want to see this entire imbalance get taken. I want to see this entire imbalance get taken here. Stop is going to move to break even. I want to see a lot more. I want to see just way more aggressive selling on this. I want to see an inversion of the bullish imbalance that we had on the 5-minute. But like I said, when I'm trading gold once again is very algo driven. When it trends hard. So you know what I mean? Just kind of aware of that. It's had a really nice bullish run up today. We're looking for kind of an intraday scalp reversal move. I would like to see an inversion of the imbalance. We have a lot of stacks sell side below. Would love to take out this sell side at 2,942. That's kind of what we're looking at. Pulling back. That's why I don't want to see that manipulation. God, I would have just loved to sweep that imbalance first. That's disgusting. 2,949. I mean, it can't stay in this trade if it holds that bullish imbalance. I'm out $60, so call it a break-even trade. But if it's going to hold this bullish imbalance, I can't stay in that trade. That didn't play out as clean as you'd want it to. I mean, but there's nothing better to trade here. M&Q looks a hell of a lot worse than gold did. Oh, goodness gracious. At least you had profit. We'll call that break even. I mean, that was not a good trade, but I mean, I like the setup. The setup was there. It's just the price action's not great. I still think gold has a lot more internal sell side liquidity that it needs to pull back to before it goes and takes buy side on the daily or whatever the hell, the hourly. So I still like the setup. It might just be a swing and not an intraday scalp. You know what I mean? It's been moving more in London session anyways. Like this whole move came out of London. I did like the setup though. Still probably does sell. I mean, keep watching it. I mean, for it to not go and take this imbalance, right? As soon as I saw it holding this bullish imbalance, I was cutting the trade out, right? If I don't get the inversion of this imbalance, then we're not going to go take this sell side liquidity here, right? As soon as it held that bullish imbalance, and I know it's on the back end of what's a really strong intraday gold move, up 1.5%, I think more at this point. If you don't take this bullish imbalance here, then this continues accumulating above. Hell of a move on gold today, though, right? Pretty much retraced the entire selling move that we had on Friday. Like, hell of a move. Pretty much retraced the entire bearish imbalance. Yeah. So holds the imbalance, takes sell side. Now you have stacked buy side. Now you have low resistance stacked buy side liquidity here. Kind of low hanging fruit stacked buy side liquidity. See if it curls up and out of that and takes the highs, the intraday highs at 2952. What do you think about a continuation play on gold? Gold's a fucking train. M&Q pushing? No cap. M&Q's price action's disgusting. Gold taking buy side right now. Ugh. A lot more structure. I mean, this either needs to manipulate through buy side or inversion of this imbalance. I'm gonna wait till it does one or the other because right now there's just nothing there. Just accumulation on the back end of a strong day for gold. Try to take a reversal on it, didn't really give us anything. Yeah, NQ's looking rough. NQ's looking rough. There goes M&Q. Don't cap, bro. Don't be capping. Not yet. Gold either needs to go take buy side or take this imbalance out. Otherwise, we just wait. Guys, if I pull up NQ and it's still in its range, Jesus Christ. Gold's in such an interesting spot, man. I mean, gold is in such an interesting spot. You had this absolutely massive imbalance form on Friday. Put in relative equal lows. Asian session found buying. London session, all this generated liquidity. Back to London, more generated liquidity. Sorry, back to New York, generated liquidity. London, and here we are at 2009 50s. Off of pretty much an imbalance reversal or imbalance reversion off of no liquidity. Like this has to move back to internal structure and take sell side before it can go take highs at 2009 60. You get stopped out. I took it out. I took it off small profit. Just it was consolidating too much on the back end of a strong day. I just didn't love how sideways it was. I wanted to see a much stronger rejection off of that level, and it was accumulating a little too much. It did break through the sell stops at 949, but it then immediately respected this bullish imbalance, pulled back up, so I took it off for like 60. I wanted to see a lot stronger selling. Maybe I was premature with the entry, but I like to snipe those. I felt like it was a good entry. I like to snipe those premium entries on reversals. Maybe a little prematurely, but also like whenever the move I was expecting was going to be a strong displacement leg back through this imbalance. And so I wasn't confident I could get an entry. Anyways, that's what I was expecting. Didn't really happen. Respected the imbalance, pulled back up. I took it off. Small green trade, like really small. I mean, but ultimately, and I don't know if it plays out today, you expect to, I mean, gold to rebalance, pull back to equilibrium, at least take this sell side move under 9.4s, and then it can go take buy side and go take these highs, last week's highs. So the move on gold's interesting. You have relative highs untapped, right? Untapped liquidity above these relative highs. This buy side highs untapped. Sell side lows untapped. All of that untapped liquidity. And so you're looking at this purely internal, right? Totally untapped liquidity above buy side, totally untapped liquidity below sell side. So all you can really do is trade this internally. Had this really big bearish imbalance, pretty much total retracement through it, so it looks strong. Now you expect the market makers, the algo, to pull this back down. You expect the market makers, the algo, to pull this back down into equilibrium, right? Take out these, one second, take out these sell stops at 2009 for at least, because this entire move, right, this entire move off these relative equal lows, it never took any liquidity, right? So it's a strong move all the way back up. Now it needs to take these sell stops at 2009.4. That's kind of the ultimate move you're looking for, right? Manipulation takes the sell stops below 2009.4, curls back up, and then it can go take buy side from that point. And that's kind of how you'd expect that to trade. But you need to see a sentiment shift off of 2009.5. So that's kind of what you're looking at in real time, right? If this sentiment doesn't shift here, if you can't break below, take the sell stops. Because this move I mean, you need more liquidity to go take the buy side. At least a rebalanced equilibrium here. That's kind of what you would expect. Or at the very minimum to take sell side here at 2009.4, these low wicks that you put in. It's the only liquidity that we really put in today, 2009.4. That's intraday sell stops. That's what you'd want to see swept. Still think ultimately bullish because this is a really clean move. To totally reverse and retrace this bearish imbalance with no liquidity being taken it's a really algorithmic move. So kind of cautious around it, right? Because to totally take that move out with no sell side sweep, just pure algo buying back up through the imbalance. Now you're at the highs of the imbalance. Interesting setup. But I mean, gold, like we're talking about gold because gold's to me more interesting than NQ right now. Gold to me is more interesting than NQ. Like NQ's, I mean, but and then you also have just like strong internal structure and then these external sell side orders and external buy side orders totally untapped. Totally untapped. So whatever way internally this decides to move, it's going to pull to external with a lot of strength. So much liquidity resting above these relative equal highs and lows. I would love to see it pull through these intraday sell stops though. That's what I would expect. Take this liquidity here, then magnetic move back up to buy side. Be cautious it doesn't put in like a three-peat here and generate more buy side liquidity. But ultimately, I think this does continue moving up. I was looking for a reversal for a rebalance off of the highs as we kind of retrace this entire imbalance. Shit, y'all can't even see what I'm doing, bro. That's... TikTok screen in is big. Anyways, I was yapping about this setup here. How can you tell it's an algo setup? You can never tell, right? But whenever a move like this happens, like this is a strong bearish imbalance, right? At least visually. Really strong bearish imbalance. Complete sell-off off of relative equal highs. And you'll notice the reversal didn't come off of any liquidity sweep. I mean, you had liquidity sweep here, but this is the ultimate liquidity sweep, right? These are your external lows that you're looking to sweep. 2886. Never did. Put in relative equal lows. And then just algorithmic buying, right? Buys up into the imbalance. Accumulation. This was like London. This was like a sneaky London, because Monday we were open for a little bit. Yeah, this was Monday. Sneaky accumulation here. Took out like a small sell side stop and just continue move. Just really on no liquidity, right? Whenever a market moves without sweeping liquidity internally like this, just yeah, algo driven. Like when you retrace a bearish imbalance like this with no sweep on any major liquidity, it's more of an algorithmic move. Just think about it like that, right? Doesn't seem like a natural move. Not without sweeping these lows here. So buy, nah. You got to let it create more structure here. I would like to see it rebalance and take out these sell stops. It's that in NQ. NQ looks disgusting to me. Yeah, NQ's looking gross. I wouldn't even want to trade it, but like I think all you'd want to see out of it, because it does have external buy side like way up here. But you'd have better setups if it just goes ahead and like bleeds back into this internal structure, let it pull back into this internal structure, you have some more levels to trade off of. It's kind of in a weird spot. Like you took buy side with volume, and then now it's just like you didn't get the continuation to that next level, so it's in just a weird spot. It's in a weird spot. Putting an SMT in on the hourly is just weird. Hey y'all, we're live on YouTube as well. Want gold to go take sell side. Needs to take sell side. Internally needs some type of liquidity off of this really overextended move. Needs some type of at least intraday sell stop. Sweep those, then we go and take external buy side. Probably not today. Definitely not today, but that's kind of how this should set up. Needs to take some type of internal liquidity. The only internal liquidity available is kind of this intraday that we formed here, 2009-4. I mean, you obviously have you have stacked liquidity at 20s and 10s, but the look it's giving us with this entire imbalance retracement, this bearish fair value gap got put in, retrace the entire thing. It's a really bullish look. Looks great, looks strong. So I feel like this is path of least resistance, right? You take the only liquidity the market gives you, which is these intraday sell stops at 9.4s. Some type of internal rebalance, and then you pull back to buy side, right? I wouldn't expect it to come all the way back down, even though you have like a nice setup for stacked sell side liquidity, right? You have stacked sell side liquidity there that was all generated during London and Asian sessions during the futures, right? Stacked sell side liquidity there. But the look is, right, when you have a let me draw this out. When you have a strong move like this that completely retraces the bearish imbalance, it's path of least resistance back up to buy side liquidity, right? So your next internal highs, you're looking to take the path of least resistance, right? So take the only initial low available liquidity there is, that's intraday sell stops at 9.4s. Take that, rebalance the market internally a little bit, and then this curls back up and runs to the next available liquidity, that's buy side external at 2009-60s. That's what I would expect. Off of the back end of a really strong bearish imbalance retracement, pulled back through this entire move on pretty much no liquidity. If the market's going to take, right, market needs liquidity to move higher, take out this sell side at 2009-4, and I would expect it to curl back up to buy side and go take out these relative equal highs. That's kind of what I would expect at least this week. That's the TA on that. Hey, y'all, appreciate the follows, man. We're live on YouTube too. Making any money today? I'm up like 50. The price action is not good. Not good today either. The price action is not good either. Watching gold to see if it can take out this bullish imbalance on the 5-minute. Okay, gold coming back down into this bullish imbalance. Candle needs to close below 2948 within this, like kind of below the imbalance to be totally on. I mean, it needs to fill this wick and close there. It keeps holding this bullish imbalance. What's an imbalance? It's where you have a gap in price. So like a bullish imbalance, for example, which would be this case scenario. You can see the gap between wicks. You really need to go watch an entire video on this, right? But it's a scarcity of, in this case, it's a bullish imbalance. So a scarcity of sell orders, aka an abundance of buy orders, right? So the market pulls through imbalances, rebalances. That's kind of what you're seeing here, rebalances, right? And it's also called a fair value gap, so you could go look at those too. Kind of the same word, kind of different words for the same thing. Gold set up a lot better than NQ today, man. It really is. It really is. Still holding that bullish imbalance. Can it reach all-time high if the fair value gap is respected? Yeah, it can. I mean, we're kind of at a pivotal spot. Like, if it holds this imbalance, like this entire move has been, this entire move is just really strong. Complete retracement of this bearish imbalance or bearish fair value gap. I would think it needs to take some sort of internal liquidity because pretty much this move, just pure algo buying, hasn't had any liquidity sweep. So I would expect just briefly under this buy side, we take these sell orders at 2009-4, then move. But yeah, I think ultimately gold does move back through all-time highs, especially off of this. I mean, obviously, we're not looking for long entries up here. It's a hell of a move, though. I mean, I took a scalp on Friday evening looking for a reversal here. Got stopped out, like pretty much break even. And then just over the weekend and into Monday, I mean, we just curled. Still respecting that imbalance. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Looking again at this imbalance pretty much to get disrespected. Pull below the imbalance. Needs to close, right? The body needs to close below the imbalance here. Here we go. Now we're starting to see some selling here. Okay, so pulled through the imbalance. It ultimately is moving down, but it's just, damn, just took forever. Still holding that imbalance. All that stacked buy side above. Gold's up 1.5% today. Might be a scalp model here. Just the way it keeps holding that imbalance there. Looks good. Holding that imbalance strong. $296. If we don't sweep that imbalance, we don't go and take sell stops. I'm just thinking, how does this play out into the rest of the day? We got about 3 hours till market close. Does this curl back up and does this curl back up to external buy side? Do we have enough time for that? Will it set up like that into the close? Right? That's the thought. If you keep holding this bullish imbalance, we're not going to go take these sell stops. We won't take these sell stops. Not if you respect that imbalance. Got all this stacked internal buy side. This is kind of matching a scalp model here. A long scalp entry model. Holding the bullish imbalance. Stacked buy side above. It's now consolidation. We'll see. This might go run up through these. This might go run up through these intraday buy side stops. I think this runs through the intraday buy side stops. I think it does. I think it runs through the intraday buy side stops. Yeah, this is fitting a scalp model here. All of the stacked internal, all of the stacked intraday buy side. Now it's, yeah, this is kind of sit. Yeah. Yeah. Hold up now. Let this candle close. Yep, this fits our scalp entry model. I'm gonna let this candle close. Let this candle close. I'm gonna run through buy side here. Look how this is set up on the hourly. Look how this is set up on the hourly with 25 minutes till close on this candle. The fuck? Hold on. Did my TikTok crash? What the hell? Watch out, girl. Move. Know my name. I didn't know my name. I've got a little bit longer. This looks great. This looks great with all the stacked buy side above. All of this stacked buy side above. All of that stacked buy side above is all of that stacked buy side above is going to get ran through. Going to run through all of that stacked buy side. Does this run to external highs? Do we have time to run to external highs? We do. We do. Oh, NQ's kind of setting up too now. I like the way that looks though. Keep an eye on that. NQ coming down. Okay. Hi, baby. What you doing? No.
Didn't we just use it?
Yeah, we took it into the bedroom though, because didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, gold forming, fitting our scalp entry model here. I'm looking to take a limit buy 2949. Put in a limit order here. I want to get filled at 29495. Hold on, let me close. I don't see NQs that real quick. Okay. I think gold makes a run on all of the stacked buy side here. NQ's gonna go take its lows out too. Okay, stuff's starting to set up a little bit now. Hey, I think we're about to get an entry. I'm gonna put on some deodorant real quick. I'm sweating. I just sweat, bro, RL. I don't know what it is. Whenever I just get in the computer, I just sweat. I think it's the caffeine. NQ needs to break intraday lows. Gold needs to show me something. Volume's starting to dry up on NQ. It's price action. I think gold makes a run to external external buy side. Just the way we're holding this in balance. If we just continue to hold this in balance, we can't. The algo won't allow us to go take this sell side liquidity. I would take a long for external buy side, but like I'd want to know I can get in as soon as we start to displace above these highs and take those. I don't want to get into chop. I feel like this I mean, we've been accumulating. I feel like we're about to break out of this. Especially with the run up we had earlier in the morning with gold. It's like your intraday accumulation. We should get a leg up through this level. Held the imbalance. Gold's taking its lows, or sorry, NQ's taking its lows out. God damn, look at that volume, bro. Come on now. That's so weak. That volume's pathetic. Okay, gold making its run on initial buy side liquidity, these intraday buy stops. 2009-51. Nice running. Okay, so a healthy bullish imbalance here. This is kind of the setup we're looking for. Like our scalp model should. Yeah, okay, so there you go. Running buy sides. Don't want to chase this. Running buy sides. Gold may get an intraday run to external highs on the hourly. It's already had a really, really strong day. Held this in balance, so I said, okay, we're going to go take these intraday buy stops. So taking initial buy side liquidity here through to 952, keeping an eye on it. Look to take these equal highs. Yeah, NQ's stale right now. I wanted to take a buy down here, but I wasn't sure. Like I wanted to see confirmation that we're going to pull out of this window, this trading range, this tight trading window. I wanted to see confirmation we were going to pull out of it. I wanted to snipe an entry right here on this low tick, and I didn't, and now we're moving. Now I'm kicking myself. I can't take an entry here. I'd be chasing. I'd be taking it at the highs. If we don't break through this buy side, we don't take buy side here. Okay, so here's the plan on gold going into close. Just strong continuation, just algo buying into close. I don't know if it makes a run on external highs, but we're not far off. It's another 15 points. I could see it happening, especially with this strong bearish imbalance that we totally retrace with a lot of strength. I would have liked to see it take initial sell side liquidity here, but it held this in balance. And if we just continue to hold that in balance, the market is not allowing us to go take that sell side liquidity. So could squeeze right to external